Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Coach Quant. Today, we're going to be looking at a problem on coin flips. Imagine you and a friend each have a set of fair coins, with you having 51 and your companion has 50. If both of you flip all your coins, what is the probability that you end up with a strictly greater number of heads? So, this is going to be a more straightforward problem. You have 51 coins, and your friend has 50 coins. And so we want to find the probability that we end up with a greater number of heads than our friend. So it's best in these types of problems to define some variables. Let's define x as the number of heads we get out of 51, the total 51. And let's define y equals number of heads friend gets out of their total of 50. And so our job is to calculate the probability of x being greater than y, right? That's what we wanna find. So how can we do this? Well, unfortunately, we are flipping one more coin than our friend is, and that kind of throws a wrench in things. This would be a more straightforward problem if not. And so we kind of have to find a way to simplify that. And one way might be to separate this x variable in terms of some variable x prime, which is just the number of heads that we get out of the first 50. And so we can just write um, p of x is now the sum of p of x prime plus p of c, where we define c as the final coin flip. And so the problem is finding p of x greater than y. And we can simplify this now with our new notation. We can write p of xy um, in the following manner. So there are two scenarios here. Either x prime is greater than y, in which case x will certainly be greater than y, or x prime is equal to y, in which case if the next coin toss, the final 51st coin toss that we make is heads, then that x will be greater than y. So that's why we have the sum of these two possibilities here. And certainly P of C, the probability of that final coin being heads is 1/2. It's just any other coin flip. And so the reality is we want to calculate this value, P of x prime greater than y plus P of x prime equal to y times 1/2, right? This is equal to P of x greater than y. So this is the value you want to calculate on the left-hand side. And so an easy way to look at this is to just look at the first 50 flips, right? The first 50 flips, when we compare x prime and y, three things can happen, right? Either in the first 50 flips, we get more heads than our opponent gets more heads than we do, or we get the same number of heads as our opponent, right? These are the only possibilities. So the probability that one of these three events happens is one. And so for this reason, we can actually simplify the expression because x prime and y are both random 50 coin flips. So they're actually the same distribution. So the probability of x prime being greater than y is the same thing as the probability of y being, um, sorry, I should rewrite this as a probability of y being greater than x prime. And so we can actually rewrite this as 2 times the probability of x prime being greater than y plus the probability of x prime being equal to y. And this is equal to 1. And so you'll notice that this equation down here is actually very similar to this top equation. If we divide through this bottom equation by 2, we get p of x prime being greater than y plus p of x prime equal to y times 1/2 equals 1/2. And so this thing at the bottom is the same thing as this thing up here. And since we know, as we just showed, it's equal to 1/2, we have shown that p of x being greater than y is equal to 1/2. And we are done. So the answer to this problem is 1/2. As a reminder, we have many, many more problems just like these on CoachQuant.com. Um, we give solutions, hints, we give everything you possibly need, and it's all completely free. We do not charge for these problems. We don't charge access to these solutions. I highly recommend you can go check them out. We sort by difficulty. You can sort by type of problem, whatever you're trying to learn. You can sort by firm, which questions have been asked by which firms in the past. I highly recommend you go check out CoachQuant.com. You have access to hundreds and hundreds of past interview questions. It's great for practicing for your quant interviews.